Hello? Can anybody hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Can anyone see me? It says I'm live. It says I'm recording. I see some people chatting here. Can anybody hear me or see me? Excellent. Thank you very much. Hello from Brazil. I'm here in Israel. Hello from Israel. Great. So good to see so many people here. Thank you for joining in. This is my very first time doing a live stream on YouTube, so thank you for that. Thank you for joining. Loud and clear. Great. Great. We're going to wait here a couple of minutes for some more people to join in. I'm going to make sure I know I'm all set up, ready to do. I've got some tips to give you as we go along. We'll be talking a little bit about Upland, some tips that I have for doing tours and traveling, and just tips in general. I've got some giveaways to give out. I've got 100,000 UPX to give away to 5 people, so stay tuned for the whole live stream in order to have your chance to win 20,000 UPX. Don't forget that if you did not subscribe, remember that Shalom Daniel, thank you for that. Shalom, for people who don't know, it means Hebrew. It means in Hebrew, hello, goodbye, and as well peace. So that's an interesting word. Thanks for saying that. I wanted to say that if you did not register already for the tour, then you will not be eligible to get the 0.01 spark at the end. So just make sure that you've already registered. Registration ended 2 hours ago. Yes, that's right. I'm going to be giving away 100,000 UPX thanks to Upland. Upland is sponsoring these giveaways. There will be 5 giveaways of 20,000 UPX each. Shalom, brother, Mr. Big. So in order to get the 0.01 spark at the end of the tour, you would have to have registered. You also need to complete the entire tour. You will not be receiving spark at the end. It usually takes a couple of days for everyone to receive the spark. So don't worry if you don't receive any spark at the end of the tour immediately. You will be getting it later on. Alright, it's 9:01 here in Israel, 9:01 p.m. We're going to wait a couple more minutes for people to join in. Good evening and hello from NL. This is from Twins Blerick. I'm assuming that that's New Zealand. Is that right? What else have we got? I'm going to be starting the tour. The tour starts in Brooklyn. So if you aren't in Brooklyn, you're going to want to head over to Brooklyn. Let's pull up a map here. Can you guys see this? Can you guys see that web page now? The map of New York. Let's see, hold on. I can't see my own map here. 1 second. Oh, yeah, it looks like you guys can see that. So this website here is on the Upland Guide. I have a web page dedicated to traveling within the greater New York City. It's a little bit confusing because now that all 5 boroughs have been added, there are no clear boundaries between the different boroughs. And this Memorial Day tour is going to be taking us through all 5 boroughs. We're going to be starting in Brooklyn, and then we're going to head over to Manhattan, Staten Island, which is right underneath my head there. We're going to head over to Queens as well, and the Bronx. So this is going to be a pretty big tour. The tour itself, if you're going to complete it on your own, it can take you about 25 minutes or so. I'm going to try and complete this within an hour with these giveaways, some other questions. At the end, I can still stick around for Q&A for people who have some additional questions for me. Just a show of hands, drop in a yes in the comments if you are going to be in Las Vegas for Genesis Week. I will absolutely be there. I'm traveling all the way from Israel, So hello from Israel, Mr. JK. Thanks for joining in. So I'm going to be heading to Las Vegas for Genesis Week. I look forward to seeing and meeting everyone there. If you're going to be there, make sure to come and say hello to me. I'm going to look a little bit different here. I look a little small in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, but I will be there life size. I'm about 5'8", so that's how you'll be able to identify me if you can't really see me so well in the bottom corner there. It's 9:04 here. I'm going to give it another minute, and then we're going to get started here. So as I was saying, hold on, let me just pull up this other screen here. Oh, here we go. So can you guys see these two QR codes? So first of all, the one on the right is Traveling in New York. That was the website that I was on. I'll show that in a moment again. And I also have a travel bot on my Discord server. So if you're not part of my Discord server, I have a great tool for people. It's a travel bot where I explain, it actually, if you enter in any two cities in Upland, it will tell you both the cheapest and the fastest route in order to get between any two cities. So that's an excellent tool for people who are looking to travel cross country and make sure that they find the best prices there. All right, let's head back over to Upland here, and I'm going to go ahead and start the tour. So we're going to start the tour. The first thing you're going to want to do is you can click on your block explorer and click on the paper airplanes, and you can see that if you have registered for the tour, you would have gotten approximately, it looks like 18 to 20 sends. So these sends will be able to assist you in traveling between all of the different places that we need to go to. And here we go. It says it's about to start, so I can go ahead and start the tour. I'm just going to click out of that and show you guys how to do that from the menu. So when you head into the menu, you're going to head into Treasures, and at the bottom here you have this globe where you can basically choose the city you want to be in. Now we're starting this tour in Brooklyn, and so I'm going to make sure I have Brooklyn clicked, and we're ready to go here with the World War II Memorial Day Tour. Okay. Hold on a second here as I rearrange my screen for a second. Okay. So first of all, I would like to wish everyone an important Memorial Day. Memorial Day in the United States is to recognize and pay thanks to the soldiers and Army veterans, Army, Navy, Marine Corps, all of the personnel who serve their country, who have lost their lives in one of the wars that the United States has participated in. So first of all, I encourage everyone to look up and remember these people and appreciate even living veterans and absolutely the families of those people who have lost their lives in defense of their country. So here we're going to start the tour. By clicking here, we will see that there are a list of locations along this tour, and as we go through them, the next one will start to unlock until we get to the very end, and that will conclude the tour. As I mentioned, there are 9 stops on this tour. We will be traveling through all the 5 different boroughs of New York. I have 100,000 UPIX to give away on behalf of Upland, so stay tuned for that, for an opportunity to win. And let's get this started. I encourage you to travel along with me, and let's get going. So the World War II Memorial Day Tour. Welcome, Uplanders. In honor of Memorial Day, we invite you to join us on a tour around New York City as we learn about World War II and the city's contribution to the war efforts. World War II began in 1939 when Nazi Germany, led by Adolf Hitler, invaded Poland. Involvement in the war quickly spread to include other global leaders who formed both the Allies, United States, Great Britain, Russia, and China, and the Axis, Germany, Japan, and Italy powers. World War II military power was dominated by advancement in aircraft technology as well as development of nuclear weapons. World War II involved nearly 100 million military personnel globally. The intense fighting resulted in over 70 million casualties, with tens of millions civilian lives lost. Today's tour will take us to museums, forts, and memorials in honor of those who fought so bravely for their country. Head on over to the first location to get started. Please note that this tour crosses into each of the 5 boroughs in the New York City region, starting and ending in Brooklyn, and will require approximately 20 minutes of travel time. The first location is 800 Pauley Place in Brooklyn, New York. So what we're going to do is we're going to X out here, and we're going to click on the magnifying glass in the bottom right hand corner, and then we're going to search for the address, 800 Pauley Place in Brooklyn, New York. Now here I'm going to zoom out, and let's see, I'm also going to put on the tag so we can see if there's an actual tag here. And what we're going to do is we're going to click on this property, and we are going to send ourselves there. Let's see, it's taking a moment to load here. I'm going to confirm that we're going to send ourselves there, and it's nice to see here that this player has fairly low send fees, which is 20 UPX send fee. And here, this is how we know we got to the right spot. When this congratulations on your treasure, this pops up. So I'm going to go ahead and claim the treasure. This is a pretty cool graphic. It looks like it's an ammunition case. And let's see how much UPX I got. At every one of these properties, we will be receiving one of these chests, and the UPX that we will earn along the tour will almost entirely compensate us in terms of the registration fees. So we all paid 2,000 UPX to register for this tour, and we will be getting a lot of that back. There are send fees as well, and as we move along, I'll show you some tips on how to reduce the send fees that we have. Hold on a second here. Just going to grab a drink of water. Mr. JK, yes, everyone needs to send yourself to these properties. You want to make sure that you also receive the treasure, and that's how you know you are able to continue. So now once I receive the treasure, I can go ahead back into the menu, over to treasures, back into tour locations, and we can check out the next spot. And actually, I have, before I forget, I have prepared something else here. So here, one second here, let's get back to that. Here, the Harbor Defense Museum. So this is the first step. Our first step takes us to the Harbor Defense Museum at Fort Hamilton. This museum collects and preserves historically significant material related to Fort Hamilton, a fort that was built to protect New York City's waterways in the 1820s and is named after Alexander Hamilton. The fort has served many purposes over the years. During World War II, it acted as a mobilization center to coordinate and process U.S. troops for deployment overseas. It is believed that nearly 3 million U.S. service members passed through here on their way to Europe over the course of the war. And then our next location is 42 Ferris Street, also in Brooklyn. But before that, and that's what I wanted to show over here, are just a couple of pictures here from the museum. It's located in part of the garrison's original masonry fort that is now listed on the National Register of Historic Places. As the only Army museum in New York City, the Harbor Defense Museum has a fine collection of military artifacts from the American Revolution and World War II. So this is just a picture from inside the museum, and here is a picture, not sure when this was taken, but there are also exhibits on the Battle of Brooklyn in 1776, and Fort Hamilton is one of the oldest U.S. Army installations in the country. I think this picture must have been taken from World War I. So let's now head on over to the next stop, which is 42 Ferris Street. So again, we're going into search, and 42 Ferris Street. And there's Ferry Street, but we're going to Ferris Street. Oh, here we go. So here we go, 42 Ferris Street, and we're going to send ourselves here as well. Here, now we've got another treasure. I'm going to be claiming that. Now something unrelated to this tour, but something that's really important as well. If you are someone who collects legits of these NFL players, it's important to take note that in exactly 1 month, on the 30th of June, is the last day where you will be able to mint 2021 Essentials. So plan ahead, everybody. If you're looking to participate in these legits, please do that. Take that into consideration. If you're not familiar with what legits are or how they work or why you might need them, all the information is located in the Upland Guide. On my YouTube channel as well, I have a playlist where you can check out everything you need to know about legits, so keep that in mind. I'm also available afterwards to answer any other questions if anyone has. Now back to the tour. So I hope everyone's still following along. We're back here at Treasures, and we're going to check out a little bit more about Fort J. So we just arrived at Fort J, and just across the river between here and the skyscrapers of New York City, you can see Fort J on Governor's Island. Fort J was built in 1794 to defend Upper New York Bay. Much like Fort Hamilton, it has played different roles throughout history. Its pentagon-shaped structure eliminated blind spots along the walls of the fort to create an ironclad defense. During World War II, Fort J was home to the Eastern Defense Command, which coordinated military defense in the Northeast United States. Nowadays, Fort J in Governor's Island is a popular public attraction that hosts various events throughout the year. The next spot is 24 State Street in New York. So now we are going to be traveling to Manhattan. So we're going to travel by heading over to, let's zoom out here. My screen is a little bit lagging. My computer's not the greatest, so on new city releases I typically utilize my phone. So we're going to head over here to the train terminal. By clicking on train terminal, it's going to ask us to go here. There are a lot of people who make mistakes when traveling, and they will just go ahead and click the train terminal in Manhattan. And that's just not the right way to do it. If you were physically in Brooklyn, if you wanted to get into Manhattan, it makes complete sense that you want to travel first to the train station that the city that you're in. It's also important to note that once you're here, there are different terminals. So we can see that there are 10 total terminals. This is terminal number 7, and you can go to any one of these terminals. Typically I go to the cheapest one just to save myself the UPEX, and that will, by sending myself there, I will send myself to that specific property here, and then I will be in range of the train terminal, and by clicking it again, now that I'm in range of it, it will prompt me and ask me what city I want to travel to. Oh, hold on a second here. Here we go. Now it pulls up, and from Brooklyn, these are all the cities that I can travel to, and we're going to Manhattan, because that's the next stop on the tour. It's going to cost me 20 UPEX, and it's going to take exactly 4 minutes. So go ahead and buy your ticket and hop on the train over to Manhattan. Once again, I remind everybody that there is a travel bot on my Discord server that can help you find both the cheapest and fastest routes between any two cities. And here we go. This is just another picture here of Fort J, something that looks really, really cool, and that's right, it does kind of look like it's in the shape of the Pentagon over there. Must be a really nice view over here looking over into Manhattan. Let's see here. Am I in transit yet? Okay. Now I am going to do our first giveaway. This is sponsored by Upland with this giveaway, and all these giveaways are going to be questions regarding World War II. So hopefully you guys know your World War II history here, and the first person in the chat, I'm taking a look at the chat here, the first person who can correctly answer the question will win 20,000 UPIX. So the question is, what is the event that led to the United States to enter World War II? Something happened a couple of days before the United States declared war, and what was that event that happened? Anyone? I'm watching the chat here. What event triggered Upland? Sorry, what event triggered Upland? What event triggered the United States? Not what year. What event triggered the United States? That's right, Pearl Harbor. We have A.S. Slayer. A.S. Slayer said Pearl Harbor, the attack on Pearl Harbor. That is absolutely correct. So A.S. Slayer, please make sure to DM me, or I'm going to write that down, A.S. Slayer, but I'm going to need your Upland username, A.S. Slayer. So yes, that is the correct answer. The Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, damaging 8 warships and sinking 4, damaging 8 battleships and sinking 4 of them in Pearl Harbor, which is located in Hawaii. And the second question, also for 20,000 UPIX, is on what day, the exact day, including the year, was Pearl Harbor attacked? For 20,000 UPIX, on what day was Pearl Harbor attacked? We've got someone here, Greg Zotic, I love history, that's great. I'm waiting here for 20,000 UPIX. Here we have, that's right, we have MM and NM, December 7th, 1941. That is correct. December 7th, 1941 is the day that the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. And just a few days, I believe the next day, the U.S. then declared war on Japan. So MM and NM, please also DM me or send me your in-game Upland name. That way Upland can make sure to give you that. FCVN says I answered first. I'm going to have to double check that afterwards. If someone can please send me a screenshot, I would appreciate that. This is a little bit difficult for me to do that during this as well. But yes, the correct answer is December 7th, 1941. The Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. So I'm about to disembark here from the train, and we're going to continue on to our next location, and let me just check to see what that is again. We'll go 24 State Street in Manhattan. Alright. And also in Brooklyn, so it's important to take a look at the city here. So we're going to 24 State Street in New York. This is our third stop on the tour. Says the stream, FCVN says the stream is delaying a lot. Hopefully There are other people that don't have that problem. Here I've claimed the next treasure chest. Oh. So let's get this treasure chest over here. $150 UPX claimed. And now let's learn a little bit about where we just traveled to. This is taking a little bit longer to load. Oh, and here we go. We have to toggle back into the city of Brooklyn. So here, because we are virtually physically in Manhattan, it changed the city to Manhattan, but we have to go back and check Brooklyn, and we arrive now at the East Coast Memorial. So let's see what this is about. Cross the street into Battery Park to find the East Coast Memorial. This memorial was dedicated by United States President John F. Kennedy on May 23, 1963, and honors the 4,601 American servicemen who lost their lives fighting in the Atlantic Ocean. The East Coast Memorial consists of bronze eagle statues that is flanked by 8 large granite pylons that are inscribed with the lives lost and face of the Statue of Liberty. The next location is 638 West 47th Street. Now I've got a couple of pictures of this as well, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that up and show you guys here. This is the East Coast Memorial. We can see the pylons on the left and the statue in the middle, which is of an eagle. It says on the eastern side of the plaza is a monument bronze eagle set on a pedestal of polished black granite, grips a laurel wreath over a wave, signifying the act of mourning at the watery grave. There's an inscription here as well. And let's head back over to our next location, 638 West 47th Street. (638 West 47th Street). Alright, let's see which one it is. Is it this long one? 638 West 47th Street. Now here I've noticed that this one, sending myself here, is going to cost me 70 UPX, and I'm going to show you a important pro tip. For this is only for people who watch this live stream. I see this one here is 50 UPX, and let's see what the price of this one is. You don't actually have to send yourself to the exact property. You can send yourself to a neighboring property as long as you're going to be in range. So I'm going to just go ahead and send myself to this one. It's 20 UPX cheaper, and I believe that if I send myself here, I will still be in range of the property, and it will trigger the treasure as well. So here we go. That's a tip for all of you guys who chose to tune in. You don't have to be right on it. Just like when you're treasure hunting, or just like when you're trying to pick up a send, you don't have to be directly on top of it. You can be close enough, and everyone who has some experience in Upland knows exactly how far away that range is, and you should be able to get a good feel to know exactly how close or how far away you can be in order to still pick up that treasure or that send, or in this case, that the reward here. Now let's head back over to our treasures and learn about where we just arrived. Once again, I'm going to toggle to Brooklyn, check out the tour locations, and we have arrived at the Intrepid Museum. Now, I have actually been at the Intrepid Museum, and this is a really awesome place. Just across 12th Avenue, you will see the magnificent USS Intrepid, an aircraft carrier built during World War II. Before its decommission in 1974, the USS Intrepid saw tours of active duty throughout World War II, the Cold War, and the Vietnam War. With a length of 873 feet, the Intrepid required nearly 3,000 active crew members, with more than 50,000 service members spending time on the ship. In 1982, the Intrepid Museum was opened, which allows visitors to walk its sprawling flight deck, experience its tight quarters, and explore other facilities that are filled with the naval history. The next location is 1 North Weed Road, Staten Island, New York. Search for S. Weed Road. This nearby property should be the correct location in Staten Island. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is head out and figure out how to travel to Staten Island. Now, first thing we're going to have to do is travel back to the main terminal here in Manhattan. And if I remember correctly, there isn't direct travel from Manhattan directly to oh, sorry, hold on. I'm not going to send myself there first. First, I'm going to check my travel bot, actually, and see exactly how I want to travel there. Hold on one second. First, do not send yourself there. Let's check here. This is my Discord server. I'm in the travel bot channel. You can type $ from Manhattan to Staten Island, and let's see what it actually says here. So it's going to tell me both the fastest route, the cheapest, and the fastest, which are actually the same here. It's going to take us 6 minutes to get there. The first thing we're going to do is send ourselves to JFK Airport. Then we're going to take the bus from JFK to Queens, and then the train from Queens to Staten Island. So sorry for everyone who jumped ahead of me trying to get to the Central Station in Manhattan, but what we want to do is actually zoom out and send ourselves to JFK. So in addition to doing this tour, you're actually getting a good travel lesson on the best ways of traveling around. So we're going to look southeast of Brooklyn, and we're going to be able to pull up somewhere. Here we are, JFK International Airport. I'm going to go ahead and click on one of the airplanes and send myself over there. Again, choosing the cheapest terminal to go to. Wolf Warner says, getting from New York City to Staten Island is going to be funny. Yes, there are going to be a lot of people who are going to make this mistake, and I'm sure there are tons of people over the next 24 hours who are going to be in the general chat as well as the new players chat being very stuck. So thank you, Upland, for choosing to... Oh, sorry, I'm not going to go in there. From here, where are we going to go? We're going to go to the train. We're going to go to the train terminal. Sorry, the bus terminal. Here, what happens here? Now I'm going to click on the bus, and is this going to work? Go to bus terminal, and I'm going to pay the 25 UPX, and that is going to work. Phew! So yes, traveling is very complicated in Upland, specifically in New York City. So thanks for everyone for joining in and being patient with me. Even as the Upland guide, it is not so easy when I'm put on the spot here. Now, perfect. Now I'm able to travel over to Queens, and then from Queens, once we get to Queens, we're going to take the bus over to Staten Island. I sent to the train station, but no train to Staten Island. Okay, hopefully other people in the chat can do this. I can't do too many things at once. and this is my first live stream, so this is a lot for me to handle here with the technology, with jumping between screens. So I'm really hoping that people are in fact following along and able to get where we're going. Alright, let's see here. We're going to check out some pictures of the Intrepid. So here we go. The Intrepid Museum. The Intrepid Sea, Air, and Space Museum is an American military and maritime history museum. It showcases the aircraft carrier USS Intrepid, the cruise missile submarine USS Growler, a Concorde SST, a Lockheed A-12 supersonic reconnaissance plane, and the Space Shuttle Enterprise. On the lower deck, there is also a reproduction of a World War I biplane. So there is a lot going on here on this aircraft carrier. I was there approximately 8 years ago. I had a great tour there. It was really cool to see such a amazing feat of engineering. It's just ginormous, an aircraft carrier being able to carry and transport aircraft all over the world. It's a pretty cool thing that they had there. Let's see here. I have now arrived at Queens. Now I'm going to go ahead and click again on this train icon. Let's see here. Got to zoom in a little bit more. Click on the train terminal, and here we go, Staten Island. I'm going to pay 10 UPX to go to Staten Island. It's going to take us 4 minutes, and that's going to take me into our next trivia question here. There we go. I'm on the SSFTG. Don't worry about it. You're doing great. I'm on the bus from Brooklyn. We all make mistakes. Okay, so it looks like if you also head over to Brooklyn, you can catch the bus from there. So hopefully everyone is helping each other out, and we are all on our way to Staten Island. So now we've got our next trivia question, and before that, a little bit about the Holocaust in World War II. The Holocaust was something very important that happened during World War II as well. The mass murder of European Jews took place in the context of World War II. As German troops invaded and occupied more and more territory in Europe, the Soviet Union, and North Africa, the regime's racial and anti-Semitic policies became more radical, moving from persecution to genocide. Explore a timeline of key events during the Holocaust and World War II. So I'm actually going to drop a link here for people to learn more about that. This was pulled from the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum website. I'm going to drop it here right now. Can I even chat here? How do I chat? I'm going to add it to the notes here afterwards. I'm also going to send this out afterwards. But if you Google USHMM.org, U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum.org, there's a lot of great information there, learning about the Holocaust, World War II as well. So that was a lead up to the question. The question here for 20,000 UPX. The first person to answer this will win 20,000 UPX. The Nazis, they had a deliberate and systematic plan to mass murder European Jews. They succeeded in murdering 6 million Jews, which is more than half, almost 2/3 of the entire world Jewish population at that point in time. They had a plan to mass murder the European Jews. This plan was the culmination of a decade of increasingly severe discriminatory anti-Jewish measures implemented by the Nazis. Their plan to murder all the Jews, what is that commonly called as? What was the plan called? The first person to answer that correctly will win 20,000 UPX, thanks to Upland. So the systematic and deliberate plan to mass murder all of Europe's Jews by Hitler is known by what? David P. just finished the tour. That's great. You're heading a lot faster than we are, but I'm glad you're still following along and participating in this live stream. Is there a lag here, or are there just not people who know the answer to the question? 6 million Jews were murdered in the Holocaust. Adolf Hitler's plan to exterminate all the Jews was known as what? It looks like there is a very massive delay here. Mr. JK says 6 million Jews. This might be very, very lagged. That is not the question. The question is, what was the name of the plan? Alright, I've got 22 more seconds here. I see here Alex Hanavan says the final solution. So Alex Hanavan, that is absolutely correct. I'm just writing that down. Alex Hanavan. Yes, the final solution. That is what the Nazis called the systematic plan to murder all of Europe's Jews. Alright, we have arrived here in Staten Island. I'm going to head back into Treasures. I'm going to make sure I'm choosing Brooklyn here, just in order to find the location that we need to head to next. And it says search for S. Weed Road. The nearby property should be the correct location in Staten Island. We're looking for 1 North Weed Road. So here we go. So we've got South Weed Road here. One North Weed Road. Yep, this seems to be it. So let's head over there as the next stop on the tour. And this says Battery Weed, Fort Wadsworth. So it looks like that is where we're heading, and here's the treasure. $200 UpX bonus. Alright, this is Fort Wadsworth, and let's find out where we are. Fort Wadsworth is a former U.S. military installation on Staten Island. This historic fort dates back to the Revolutionary War and defense New York waterways from the south. Although it was stocked with strong armaments and anti-aircraft weapons, Fort Wadsworth was used as a mobilization center during World War II to support other military outposts in the New York City area that were better positioned for modern warfare. When it was decommissioned in 1994, it had been the United States' longest continually occupied military garrison in history. Fort Wadsworth is now a public area that is maintained by the National Park Service and include a museum and visitor center. Next location, we are heading back over to Queens. Alright, so let's go back to the train terminal here and make our way to Queens, and then I will show you a couple more pictures here of Fort Wadsworth. Where is this? Here it is. Here's the train station, all the way here at the north end of Staten Island. And we'll make our way back over here. We're going to choose Queens again, and I mentioned this before. Anyone who is looking to purchase more NFL player essentials You have 1 more month to do that. Essentials are bound. Oh, hold on a second. Sorry, I can't do two things at once. I'm going to Queens, and now I will continue to say that minting essentials is not something that is limited by the mint number. It's actually limited by time, and the last day to mint essentials is on the 30th of June, which is exactly in 1 month. So I've got a playlist in my YouTube channel and lots of content on my website, which is upland-guide.com, to learn about essentials, mementos, everything you need to know about legits. Not only legits, but cars. Who's excited for cars? I know I am. I'm going to be at Genesis Week. They're going to be giving away the very first car. Hopefully there will be, not hopefully, X1 the Gamer did mention that there would be a lot of details coming out this week, so I'm guessing starting tomorrow, regarding everything that's going to be happening during Genesis Week. There's going to be live streams. There's going to be lots of opportunities to gain entries into the lottery to win the very first one-of-one car in Upland. So make sure that if you're heading over to Genesis Week in Las Vegas to come and say hello to me. I'm going to be there as well. Here we've got a couple of pictures here from the Intrepid Museum. So it is an aircraft carrier, but there's also the submarine, the Concorde, the Enterprise space shuttle, and yeah, that's that. Here is something else. Bring back Block Explorer rewards for tours. Now, I don't know how many people were here approximately a year ago, actually exactly a year ago. They had a Memorial Day tour as well, and the reward was not Spark. There was no Spark a year ago. Nobody knew what Spark was. It didn't exist, and they actually gave away Block Explorers. So I'm going to show you the Block Explorer that was given away, and I submitted. Hold on here. Let's go ahead and see. Pull up some of my Block Explorers here, and I'm actually going to make this change to the Block Explorer. Where is it here? So this is the Block Explorer that was given to everyone who completed the tour exactly a year ago. And let me pull this back up here so you guys have the, you can scan this with your phone while you're traveling, or take a minute and upvote this, this request. Let's see if they can bring it back. This is a great website. If you have any suggestions, ideas, things that you think can improve Upland, then this is the place to drop it. People can upvote it. I'm saying here that we don't have to necessarily give Block Explorers to thousands, if not maybe tens of thousands of people who complete the tour, but I do think that it would be pretty cool if they did have a raffle for maybe 200 or 300 people who completed the tour in order to be entered to win, in addition to the 0.01 Spark, to maybe win a Block Explorer as well. Something that would be cool, something that would commemorate the tour, and I think that could be a great addition to bring back into Upland. So I know if the Upland staff are watching, I hope you're making notes. If they're not, let's make sure to upvote that in order to ensure that they do address that and hopefully bring back this recommendation. So I'm going to be off the train here just any moment, and we will be able to continue on to the next location. I'm going to check that and see exactly where that is. Not Queens, we got to check Brooklyn. (11525) Beach, 193rd Street. 11525 Beach, 93rd Street. Beach 93rd Street. Oh no, looks like I forgot the address, which happens to me even when I'm not doing a live stream under pressure. So sorry about that. Some of these addresses, they're a mouthful to remember. So then I got to go back in here and see what it is. 11525 Beach, 193rd Street. 11525 Beach, 193rd Street. 25 Beach, 193rd Street. Here it is. Alright, here we go. I made it successfully. I hope everyone else is also making it successfully. Gary says, great idea on the Block Explorer. Thank you very much. Please make sure to upvote that. Please, if you're on Twitter, make sure you're following me. Tweet out that link. Tag me in it. Let's also create a community on some of these other platforms. Follow me on Twitter. There's links on my YouTube channel, on my Discord channel. Everywhere you can follow me, you can then find other places to follow me as well. Alright, let's check out where we arrived right now. Fort Tilden. Fort Tilden is a former U.S. Army base on the coast of Queens. This sprawling base protected northern New York from air-based attacks. During World War II, it was also armed with long-range anti-aircraft weapons. Its strong position also stored weapons and artillery during the war. After the fort was determined to be obsolete, it was turned over to the National Park Service. Visitors can now explore the abandoned military structures and see how nature has started to reclaim the land. Next location is Bronx. So let's head on over to the Bronx, and then we're going to learn more about this location here. For this, I'm going to head over to the train station, and we can get to Bronx via the train station, not the bus station in Queens. So make sure you're choosing the Queens train station and not the Brooklyn one, because we are still in Queens, and there is no ease of you can't just hop over to Brooklyn from Queens. You would have to take the train as well, even though they do share a border, which is not extremely visible. So here we go. I'm going to choose the Bronx, and then I'm going to ask another question here. Bronx. We've got 2 minutes, so the next question here is also going to be for 20,000 UPIX. There are 2 correct answers, and each correct answer will get 20,000 UPIX. The same person cannot win both of them. So you can answer both, but if you're the first, then the second person will also be able to claim that. The question is, in August 1945, the U.S. detonated 2 atomic bombs over which Japanese cities? We're looking for 2 answers here, and you cannot win both prizes for 20,000 UPIX each. What are the 2 cities that were bombed, which was towards the conclusion of World War II, essentially leading to the surrender of Japan? In August 1945, which 2 cities had atomic bombs dropped on them by the United States? It looks like the chat that I'm looking at here, there is a little bit of a delay, so I'm still waiting for some of these answers to come in. I haven't seen one yet. I'm sure someone's already provided the right answer. I'm just waiting for it to update here, and I don't get it immediately, it seems. So I've still got another 39 seconds here until I get to the Bronx and we can continue the tour. Still waiting here. Here we go. Someone says Hiroshima. Oh boy. This is here. Meftifosa. Oh boy, this is running away from me here. I'm going to need to, I lost it here. I'm going to write down the time here and I'm going to find out who won that. 9. So the correct answer is Hiroshima and Nagasaki. That is correct. I don't know who was the first person. I'm going to have to go back and look at that because the feed just absolutely exploded and I was not able to catch the first people. So I'm going to go ahead and reach out to you guys as well. I'm heading here back into the treasure to find the next location on the tour. So again, those were two different people who each won 20,000 UPIX for correctly answering that Hiroshima and Nagasaki were the two cities that were bombed by the United States. Hold on. So we're looking for 6035 Broadway. It will bring up a few results. The first result should take you to the correct location in the Bronx. 6035 Broadway. 6035 Broadway. Let's see if this is right. If this is actually correct, then 6035 Broadway. If this is correct, then I will receive another treasure here. Yep. So I'm going to collect this. We're going to see where we're headed next. And again, for Genesis Week, there is going to be a live city release. So the next live city release is going to be on June 10th. We still don't know what city it's going to be. There's a lot of speculation. People seem to think that it is going to be Las Vegas, since we are going to be physically there in Las Vegas as well for Genesis Week. I'm not one to make many predictions, so I actually have no idea if it's going to be Las Vegas or a different city. But I'm just going to wait a little bit longer patiently to get that information from Upland. So we have arrived here at Van Cortlandt Park Memorial Grove. Across the way and towering high into the sky are oak trees planted at Van Cortlandt Park Memorial Grove. Dedicated in 1949, the Memorial Grove honors servicemen who fought during World War II. The oak trees are a symbol of strength and endurance that appropriately represent the spirit of brave military personnel. Underneath each tree there are bronze plaques that memorialize the soldiers who fought in the war. The next location is 110 Flushing Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. Okay, we've got 2 more spots left. We're heading back over to Brooklyn, and that is going to be the last stop on the tour. We have 2 more locations there. We will be able to complete the tour, and we will be receiving 0.01 spark. You do not have to worry. You don't have to write to Upland and open up a service ticket. You will not immediately receive your 0.01 spark. It will be dropped a couple of days after this tour, so there is no need to ask where your spark is. Once you get to the end, and if you read the last screen, it will say something along the lines of, "Congratulations, you completed the tour," and that is how you know that you completed it successfully and that you will be receiving your spark. Gotta grab the train terminal here, and we're heading back over to Brooklyn. It's going to take us 2 minutes. Let's see here. This is Van Cortlandt Park Memorial Grove. So the oak dedicated in 1949 to honor servicemen who fought World War II. Underneath each tree there are bronze plaques that memorialize the soldiers who fought in the war. And here it is. Mr. JK says, some of us are lagging, please wait for us. Hopefully you've caught up. Here, Wolf Warner says City of Lights equals Paris. So there's also, people have also been saying that. Upland has said that they will be going international this year. I saw Idan, who is one of the co-founders, I forget on what podcast or where I saw it, but he did say that Upland will be going international. Is now the right time for them to go international? Will the next city release be Paris? I don't know. Good guess. We'll wait and see. Either way, new city releases are a lot of fun. It's a great way to learn about a new different city. You can also mint some excellent properties. Everyone has equal opportunity at being able to mint from a new city, and it's exciting to do some research. There's a lot of information on my website as well. I also have a dedicated YouTube playlist going over everything you need to know about a new city release. Also, if you're a new player, I've got a new players playlist. I've got a playlist for just about everything. So if there's something you're unfamiliar with about Upland in terms of game mechanics, I have a playlist that talks about it, whether it be legits, new players, cars, even. It's all on there. So please do take a look and browse around my YouTube channel for some great important content, and also in written form on my website as well. So now that I have arrived back in Brooklyn, we're going to go see where we need to travel to next. "110 Flushing Avenue." All right. 110 Flushing Avenue. Which one is it? This is 110 Flushing Avenue. Alright, let's head on over here. Alright, here we go. We claim the treasure. Let's see how much this is. 475 UPIX. Let's see where we have arrived. Brooklyn Navy Yard. Ever wonder where some of America's mighty warships were built? Right here in Brooklyn. Across the street you will find the Brooklyn Navy Yard, the premier shipbuilding facility that developed and built military ships from 1801 to 1966. During the height of World War II, the Brooklyn Navy Yard employed over 70,000 people who worked the yard's dry docks, manufacturing and repairing the ships at breakneck speeds. A few decades after World War II, the Brooklyn Navy Yard was turned into an industrial park and has been going through a renaissance ever since. Presently, visitors can still tour historic sites while also exploring one of Brooklyn's trendiest developments. Next location is 225 Cadman Plaza East. 225 Cadman Plaza East. Cadman Plaza East. Here we go. And it looks like this is the last stop on the tour. It is now 10:03 p.m. here where I am. I'm located in Israel. Shalom from Israel, which means hello. I will say it again soon because it also means goodbye as well as peace. So we got on just over an hour ago. Thank you for everyone who are still on this this tour with me. We actually started the tour at 9:05, so now it's 10:05. Here we go. We got a piñata. So these are some cool boots. Piñatas. How does this work? You will have to click these boots as fast as you can in order to generate UPX. And I can't do two things at once, which are click and talk at the same time. Also, here I'm going to be getting ready. I'm going to be absolutely horrible on this. It's a lot easier if you're doing this on your mobile phone, because what's going to happen is these boots are going to run across the screen, and if you're using a phone, then you can use two fingers at once, and it also moves less because the screen is not as wide. So here I was able to claim 358 UPX. Drop in the chat and let me know how much you were able to claim. I'm not big on treasure hunting. I don't claim any piñatas, so I don't really have an opportunity to practice that. But some people are quite good at claiming piñatas and getting a lot of UPX out of them. So here, this is the Brooklyn War Memorial. Our final stop. Here we go. The Brooklyn War Memorial is across the street from Cadman Plaza Park. The elaborate memorial was dedicated in 1951 to honor Brooklynites who served in World War II. Two large sculptures representing victory and family flank a 24-foot tall granite and limestone memorial wall that reads, "This memorial is dedicated to the heroic men and women of the borough of Brooklyn who fought for liberty in the Second World War, 1941 to 1945, and especially to those who suffered and died. May their sacrifice inspire future generations and lead to universal peace." This concludes our tour of World War II sites in New York. Thank you for joining us, not only us, but thank you for joining me. I'm YK2012 on our special Memorial Day tour as we learned about World War II and paid tribute to those who sacrificed so much for their country. We'll see you next time. So, thank you. Don't jump off just yet. I'm still around for people who have some questions for me. We've got here a couple more pictures just to wrap this up. The last couple of locations. Here is Brooklyn Navy Yard. There's a nice picture of where these ships were being built. And this is the Brooklyn War Memorial. And once again, I hope everyone has a memorable Memorial Day. If you want to hop off the live stream, I thank you for joining in and participating. If you want to remain, I'm still around here. I will be here for a couple more minutes to be able to ask some questions, to answer some questions. In the meantime, I'm also going to pull up YouTube here to see if I'm able to get these questions real time instead of the lag. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Please make sure to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. Follow me on social media wherever you are. My Discord channel as well. Please let me know how I did on my very first live stream on YouTube, my very first tour that I hosted with Upland. Thank you to Upland, X1 the Gamer, and all the Upland staff who reached out to me and asked if I would be willing to host this tour. I had a lot of fun doing this. I hope you guys enjoyed following along with me. I hope I gave you guys some good tips as well. You learned a little bit. Hopefully we're all better now at traveling within the greater New York area, which is a little bit difficult. So that's that. I'm waiting here for some questions to pop up. There might still be a little lag. I see here, thanks for hosting the tour from Tilt Productions. You are welcome. Vanilla-tastic got guides on piñata opening and treasure hunting. I do have a guide on treasure hunting. I am not an excellent treasure hunter. I explain what you need to do and how to prepare before you start treasure hunting. I have linked to a number of videos. I have watched Russell Envy. He is an excellent treasure hunter. He has an incredible video which is 2 hours long, and if you are serious about treasure hunting, I highly recommend searching that out and watching that entire video from start to end. You will learn how to be a better treasure hunter, I can guarantee that. After that, it's really on you to practice. Treasure hunting is absolutely a skill that can be learned, a skill that can be perfected. There are people that are beyond excellent at it, and during Spark Week, a lot of people do end up very frustrated and not being able to collect any treasures, even in some of the less popular cities where the payouts and rewards are not as big as some of these Tier 1 cities, but it is very, very competitive. If you're not able to claim any, don't get too frustrated. There are a lot of people in the same position. Yeah, that's what I can recommend regarding treasure hunting. Augie says, YK 2012, thanks for all the help. You're more than welcome. FCVN, you did great. The internet didn't help. That is true. The internet didn't help. Do you think fantasy football will be implemented with our legits? Asks Wolf Warner. Yes, I do. Yes, I do think that we are looking towards something that does take all of the legits that you have, something using the different tiers as well. And by tiers, I mean mementos, replicas. You can get your legits autographed as well, and essentials. I do see something along the lines of being able to choose a team that it combines of the different positions and maybe the different collections, and competing head-to-head against other players based on real-world outcomes of the games, just like fantasy football. So I can absolutely see someone who has a Tom Brady memento that is autographed, or any player's memento that is autographed, being more valuable in such a game, because it will give you a better chance at beating your opponent. Are you thinking of making a node? FCVN. I am thinking about it, yes. I have no plans of making one yet. I am someone who is trying to do a lot of different things here related to Upland. I'm trying to catch up creating content as new things come out, whether it be cars, whether it be legits collections, all of these things. I'm first and foremost trying to create as much content and provide that to the community. If I were to make a node, that would spread me even thinner than I am right now, and it would not allow me to develop the node in the way that I would want to, and that is the reason why I am not creating a node right now, but I absolutely do see that as something that will come out in the future. Thank you for that question. YK, how much longer do we have to complete the World War II tour? You have 24 hours as of just over an hour ago. So the tour is 1 day long. You have 24 hours to complete that. Mr. JK, thanks, that was great. Who is going to win the NBA Finals? I don't know. I don't know who's going to win the NBA Finals. I don't even know who's in the NBA Finals. So I'm not a basketball fan, so I do not know. But Boston or the Warriors? I know Boston. The Warriors, that is in California. That's the Golden State Warriors. I have no idea. I'm just going to say Boston because you wrote that first. Any tips on how to get more out of piñatas? Yes, use your phone. Other than that, I don't really know. Use your phone and use 2 thumbs. That's what I can recommend. I don't know if that's the best advice, but it's definitely better than using your computer. Vanilla-tastic. When I was new, I did learn a lot from you. Thank you. I'm glad that you are a long-term follower of my content. Thanks a lot. What are your top 3 anticipated city releases? That's a good question. I don't even have time to think about the new city releases because I'm just creating so much content of what's going on now in Upland. I know there are a lot of great content creators who do a lot of great videos when a new city comes out where the collections are going to be, specifically Radish Head. I'm a fan of him, and he has some great predictions as well. He is very good at his research. I don't have enough time to do research when I'm trying to create this content, so I don't know what to answer to that question. Ice Lord says, my question is, in racing, do you have any idea or hint at all what mechanism will be there for car racing? Will it be 2D or 3D? So I absolutely see that in the future, when people are going to be walking around or even having VR goggles or headsets, that Upland is looking to integrate in that level as well further down the line. In right now, they have shown videos. I have a couple in my car racing playlist that actually shows a demo of what they did, where you will actually be able to see all of the structures and items that are placed on the properties along the racetrack. So the whole idea is that however the racetrack and the properties around it are developed, as you drive through it, you will be able to see the Metaventures, you'll be able to see outdoor decor, the structures if it's going to be Halloween and we have the outdoor decor ornaments, that's going to be really cool to be able to see those while racing as well. How do I leave 11525 Beach 193? How do you leave that? I don't know. Head back into the Treasures tab and it will tell you where the next location is. I believe you're going to have to go to travel to a different city. We all know YK 2012's node would be in Israel. Just tell us now. If they do open up in Israel, I will absolutely create a node in Israel. That is a given. Yes. What else do we have here? It looks like there's a little bit of a lag. Waiting for more questions to come in. I know I missed a few questions. I hope that I am doing a good job answering these. Here it says, hey man, how do I get to the Brooklyn War Memorial from 225 Cadman? It says it's across the street, but I can't send there, or am I done? So once you travel to 225 Cadman Street, then you go back into the Treasures tab and read what it says, and at the bottom it says you've gotten to the end of the tour. So if you do actually find that, then you are done. Any other questions here? I don't see anything coming in. Thank you. It's here now, 10:15. How do you keep skipping over Neckman's question? I don't see where Neckman is. Let's scroll back up. How do I get to the Brooklyn War Memorial from 225 Cadman? I did just answer that. I hope that helps. Sad everyone left. Love your stream though. Thanks a lot, Max. FP Design Fab, Denver, Seattle, and Miami. Those are big cities. Those are going to be exciting releases as well. There are NFL teams in all three of them, so we know that is on Upland's roadmap sooner or later. How do I get to the Brooklyn roadmap here? Let's pull this up again. Let's pull up Upland and let's see what I can do here to show you guys again. So this property here is 225 Cadman Plaza. So this is where you're going. If you have your tags on, it says the U.S. Eastern District Court. And once you arrive to that property, you're going to click on the menu again, head over to Treasures, and when you click on the tour and you scroll all the way down, you see the Brooklyn War Memorial. Click View, and all the way at the bottom it says, this concludes our tour. Thank you for joining us. So if you are able to see this text, then that means you have completed the tour. Alright, I think that this is going to wrap it up for me. If you have any other questions, head on over to my Discord. Send me some messages. Let's continue the discussion there. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I look forward to seeing everybody. I look forward to seeing everybody in Las Vegas. Ice Lord says that you showed me proof that you answered that. I will take a look at that. Vanilla-tastic, do you plan on upgrading your current setup, mic, Wi-Fi, and so on? I love your content, but sometimes you need to focus a lot to hear what you say, and videos can be lagging. Yes, I am working on that. I had a number of videos at the very beginning which were quite difficult to hear and see. This is something new to me. I am not a content creator by trade. I am learning all of this on the fly. I learned how to create a website before I created my website. I started YouTube before I'm learning how to do it in the way. I am looking at doing some of these things based on my budget. I've invested a bunch into Upland. As I continue to grow, I will continue to improve a lot of my content as well. I believe that I have made some improvements to some of this, but I do recognize that there is still